here's a dumb idea.
I'm like,
You want to start a business in the middle of a pandemic?
Yep.
Yep, let's do it.
Better than sitting at home doing nothing.
My name's Christopher Parks. I am one half of a taco pop-up duo called Blake's Grillery.
My name's Mario Camargo. I'm the other half of Blake's Grillery. Blake's
Grillery is a company that started with some almost 5 years ago, and then eventually, after a pause, became what it is today, a COVID-19 taco pop-up. We're helping the bars open up. They're helping us get us a living because everybody's required to have a bona fide meal before they even enter the bar. They rely on us so that they can open. We were one of the keys for other bars opening.
All right, let's do this thing. All right, we're already off to a bad start. We have our food hot, already ready to go. We're gonna get ice down for cheese that we have, salsas, things like that. Since we have no refrigeration out here, we're making best do with what we got. Pretty much trying to set up a makeshift outdoor kitchen with pretty much bare bones.
Where's the new power strip?
I don't know, at your mom's house?
Really? Because that's like 5 hours away, man. I can't believe that you did that. Mario is probably one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Genuinely caring, ridiculously nice person. Always wants the best for everybody. Always wants to make sure everybody's doing okay around him. I can spend hours with him and not want to kill him.
Sometimes.
And that's rare for me. I don't like anybody.
Describe Chris.
Yeah.
Obnoxious. Loud. Fucking know-it-all.
He
Big old cuddly teddy bear. Cares more than he lets on. I know he won't quit on me and he knows I won't quit on him. We're gonna fight and fuss and scuffle and love and make up in like 2 minutes after that, but one thing I know is like, oh yeah, we got each other's back. This chicken tinga, it's a Chipotle-based tomato marinade. I am biracial. I am half black and half Mexican. And if I were to be authentic to one, I would be not giving ode to my other half. So one thing I've always prided myself on is being inauthentic. Usually, my grandmother used chicken breast. I'm a fan of chicken thighs, dark meat. Just to me, it's a better flavor. So that's one of the substitutes that I made. Also way more forgiving. So we chopped up some onions, real nice, fresh tomatoes, fresh garlic, chopped up chipotle adobos with the adobo sauce in it. Throw a little bit of oregano. It's gotta be Mexican oregano. Tad bit of cinnamon, not too much. Give that a quick stir, let them get married, let them get acquainted. Go on the honeymoon. Tad bit of white wine. And then my most inauthentic part, fish sauce. You will never see that in any tinga or hardly any Mexican dish ever. Quick little addition I did too, piloncillo for sweetness.
AKA it's cane sugar from Mexico.
Put the grilled chicken in there and stew it real slowly.
It's just nice and tangy.
Spicy, tangy, garlicky, herbal. Blake's Grillery, named after my son. This is the most authentic part of all this. This is what we do. You can't cook if you don't have a beer. Or in this case, a hard kombucha.
Hey, it's healthy.
Hey, see, I'm looking out for myself.
See, you're doing well. At one point, I was the general manager of a 2 Michelin star restaurant, and as soon as I got to that height of that mountaintop, I wanted off that mountain so goddamn bad. I don't like having bosses. So one way to not get a boss is to be the boss. And a friend of mine gave me the opportunity to take over his bar, Bar 41, and I jumped at the opportunity. Mario and I met there. I hired him as my food purveyor. It was just sort of like instantaneous. It's like love at first sight.
Yeah.
It was just like, I can hang out with this guy. I love it. He and I got along really, really well and really, really fast too. And it became a lot of a collaboration. And he helped me immensely, and I think I helped him immensely too, both professionally and personally. I'm always trying to be one step ahead of where our business is. And so talked to them over a week ago, but we didn't have the slots.
Right.
Especially if we want days off.
send a little cook there to and a little girl. Hey, just go.
That'd be nice.
We don't have to be there. They just show up and do it, and then yeah, we can focus on continue to expand. Help other bars open. Help other bars.
If anybody wants to invest in a taco pop-up, but enough to coat. Little pickled onions, a little cilantro, a little bit of salsa verde. You've got chicken tinga taco.
Blake style.
Bam. Madam Shari.
Yes.
Can I get 2 High Lifes and 2 shots of Casadores Reposado, please?
One in the rocks tomorrow.
No, I'm gonna make him do a shot.
Ooh, big boy style.
I know. So we're gonna do the traditional marriage shot where we wrap around each other. Anyway, we did this at Bar 41, so this is gonna make me happy to do it here. I don't want to be the person who cooks all the time, but I can be the person that can pimp out the guy who does cook all the time. And I swear to God, that's what kind of makes this symbiotic relationship work out really well, and our strengths are well suited to each other, is because I can promote him. I'm an asshole, and he makes me a nice person. And so Mario is a great person to be around.
When I was brought on by Chris at Bar 41 as the purveyor of food and allowed to like take over that food program, after a while I had asked him, why me? You know, very, very quick answer, because you care.
I'll get the birria.
The quesadilla style?
Yeah.
Do you want it traditionally with the beef? The way to go.
Yeah. Beef. Yeah.
You got it.
Give me the beef.
The quesadilla, a little bit of oil, sprinkle some of the consomme on there. Throw the tortilla right on top. Then I do my cheese. A little bit more cheese, why not? Why not? Then there's gonna be a second tortilla. And then I throw that on top. Usually it's folded, but these are huge. The quesadilla here, which we actually make with braised beef cheeks and beef shoulder. And we braise it for about 18 hours. You can see chunks of garlic in there, onion, bunch of guajillo peppers. And then I just let that fry and crisp up on the bottom.
That's some beauty right there, brother.
Chop it with a little pickled onions, cilantro. Gotta make it look pretty. Consomme on top, and that is Blake's quesadilla. April 23rd, 2019, the day I turned 30, walked into work. I saw Chris sitting on the table, which he never does, and I knew exactly what had happened.
We couldn't pay the rent.
So
then, yeah, he walked in. I'm like,
happy birthday.
happy birthday, man.
So that's how my 30s started.
The massive amount of disappointment and embarrassment followed by massive depression. So I have lost friends over this. Pretty much anybody who invested in that bar is no longer talking to me. And so my wife blamed me for a lot of
Ex-wife.
officially, and which led to our divorce. And so I kind of just sort of retreated into nowhere. I didn't know what to do, so I hid. I stayed in a trailer behind somebody's house for a little bit. I stayed in the hotels here and there until I got a room in East Oakland. This is getting really personal now, but if you can see it, Upside Down 2019.
Yeah, so this is representative of one of the worst years of his life.
So definitely had to mark that one down. There's a semicolon in there, because the depression was actually to the point where I was considering ending it all. The semicolon, for those who don't know, is also a flag, so that if somebody else is feeling such a way or has gone through such a feeling, that they can ask me about it, because I've gone through it.
Deep depression was like an immediate reaction. I just dived all the way down. 2019 began to evolve into one of the worst years of my life. I didn't really have any direction after Bar 41 closed. I was just kind of waiting in an abyss, literally looking for whatever I could do to you know, feed my son and pay this bill and maybe possibly fill up the gas tank. And if there's anything left over, maybe I can buy a bottle of whiskey and go to Chris's hotel, whichever hotel he's at that week. Like that. I'm like, hey, what are you doing?
Let's go to
I don't
Radisson.
know. All right, I'll be there. I got a bottle of Evan Williams because I couldn't afford the good shit. So,
Hey, Evan Williams is pricey, man. That's
Man.
from the ancient age.
hey, man, it gets the job done.
I remember. I'm so bummed I went over. Maybe I'll come back and I'll get that.
Maybe,
My
yeah,
friends like, we got tacos. I'm like, wait, veggie tacos? Like they're out there?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we do.
I'll come back.
It's all good. We're here.
This is gonna be the spicy potato. We actually use a habanero as habanero red jalapenos, lots of garlic, corn, roasted green chilies. We roast the potatoes in some white wine, really high temp, really fast. So it gets a nice crispy, crunchy texture on the outside. So it's gonna have a little cheese blanket. All right. Meticulous. I'm a perfectionist.
Of course, it sucks because that means I get to chop onions more than he does.
It gets I get in my head about like, all right, this needs to be perfect. This onion needs to curl this way.
He calls me the Tasmanian devil, and I'm
He's
just
a
like,
Taz.
Jesus Christ. Like, yeah, sure. I'm like the food processor, and he's like the fucking paring knife. He's like,
I'm like a-
all right, eventually I'm
sushi
gonna,
chef, like it-
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. It was a good run.
It was a great
That
run.
fucking sucked. Yeah, whatever.
But it brought us here. So, I mean, I wouldn't say I couldn't be happier. I could be happier, but happiest we can be right now. For damn sure.
Well,
For damn sure.
I will say that this is actually a success as opposed to that bar, which was a fucking boondoggle.
I thought 2019 was the worst year of my life. And then 2020 came.
COVID fucking sucks. First and foremost, I'm sure everybody out there can agree with that. Mid-July is when the bars with patios were allowed to open up as long as they served a bona fide meal. And like it was like a goddamn light bulb which went off in my brain, and I was like, holy shit, I have an idea. Literally using a social media network closed group for just bartenders and Oakland people, I posted something to the extent of saying like, does anybody out there need food to open up? And then so Allison from Heart and Dagger was the first person to reply. So went over there, met with her. She was like, oh, absolutely. You know what? We got this little tent popped up. And so then it was our very first time was on a Thursday.
Yep.
And then she gave us Mondays shortly thereafter. The same week, Runaway Spirits and The Avenue, where we're at now, also contacted us. We thought if we made $100 each, we were living the high life.
We're like, yeah.
Dude, we made $100.
Look at that. Could pay the PG&E this month now.
All right. First night we came here on a Wednesday, it was 55 degrees, one of those lovely Bay Area summer nights in late July or August where the fog just sits, heavy and it's wet and it's horrible. And we're bundled up and we made $50 total. We almost quit. They're like, that's the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of us, as we usually do, will support the other one and be like, buck up, young soldier.
Yep.
We got this. We got to build it up. We got to start from somewhere. And so, it's like we just have to keep on pushing. And so, if Monday sucked, it's okay. We got Wednesday. All right, Wednesday sucked too. Fuck it. All right, Sundays. Let's pick up Sundays somewhere. Okay, we got Sundays over here now. All right. So Club Mallory's gonna want us on Sundays. Runway wants us on Sundays, and it's sort of like became like this frenetic, chaotic, sort of like organizing mess.
Mm-hmm.
The irony is not lost on us. We've definitely sort of looked at each other and laughed about it. That it is sort of funny that we're responsible for keeping businesses open. Winter is scaring the shit out of us.
But we're gonna pivot, not panic.
If we start something, you don't just stop it, you just push through. We're stubborn as hell. We started a business and we love what we do.
Yep.
We believe in ourselves and we believe in our product. Man, when it's spring, we're gonna pop. We're gonna be that spring flower.